To be a Gnostic is, well, an interesting process in as much as we have the basic principle of Gnosticism is self-knowledge. And so with self-knowledge there's an element of discovery, and within us there's these two opposing elements. One is the consciousness, which is the immortal spiritual essence that we have within us, and the other is the subconsciousness. The subconsciousness consists of all of the various ego psychological states, thoughts, emotions, feelings, drives, desires and so on. And a key component, a key aspect of self-knowledge, as I said, is that discovery. And to discover something means to observe it and find it within yourself. And the events of life enable us to discover and see those things within us. And so because of the bright coloured lights and all of the things that take place in today's society, it gives us a wonderful opportunity to discover those things within ourselves. And so as we interact with the world, when we go to work, our relationships, the things we see on the internet, all of the things that take place, it instigates and promotes things to arise within us. And that provides a means for self-discovery, and through that through the practical application of Gnosis, it enables us to transform our psychology practically. I think you can probably answer that two ways. One is from a personal or individual level. I think with technological development, things are getting a lot smaller, as you said, but what we can see is that people are becoming time poor. And so because of the technological development, there's a lot of distractions for people outside, on the internet, TVs, computers and so on. And so the time that people have to devote to spiritual practice is becoming less and less. On a positive side, because of the development of technology, the access that people have to spiritual knowledge is far greater. And also the medium through which it can be presented is a lot more advanced. So, you know, centuries ago where someone would have to have certain contacts to be able to even come across esoteric and spiritual knowledge, now with a click of a button you can find it on the internet. So there's positives and minuses, pluses and minuses to everything. I think on a personal level, it enables people to have access to information, but then to see that to actually practice that requires a slightly different approach and a deeper understanding of what's required. In terms of the Gnostic movement as a spiritual organisation, I think the technology that we have is a wonderful advancement to help people have access to this information. Modern Gnosis is a very practical spiritual practice, and so the easiest thing for people to understand is the practical side. There's teachings, exercises and practices that enable people to quite easily and quickly verify the value of Gnosticism. And that relates to things like self-observation, awareness, being in the present moment. So for people to see that there is this spiritual component that exists within people, but similarly there is this other aspect that brings us suffering. And so that's quite evident for most people, and the techniques are quite easily applicable and comprehensible. I think some of the difficult things from there is perhaps the more esoteric components within Gnosticism, and then there's also in an interfaith medium is the biases that some people might have. For instance, Gnosticism traditionally is a heretical group of people, and so for mainstream Christianity it's still quite a difficult hurdle for them to come across that Gnostics exist and that they have access to or use teachings that most mainstream Christians denounced centuries and centuries ago. So they're obstacles that need to be overcome. I think in an interfaith setting like this there is a lot more tolerance with mainstream media as it is with National Geographic documentaries that have been made. There's a lot more information out about Gnosticism, about various scrolls and Gospels and texts that have been found, and so there's a lot more tolerance and understanding of what Gnosticism has to offer. Again, looking at it from a few different perspectives, from the Gnostic movement perspective, I think it's a wonderful opportunity just to present the teachings of Gnosis and the tools and techniques that we have to assist people to change their lives and to improve their lives, and for them to see that there is a practical means for them to develop a relationship with the divine, whatever they conceive that to be. I think on a personal level it's wonderful to have an opportunity to meet people of different faiths and beliefs and religions, and to see that there's enormous similarities in the purpose and goal that we all have in life. And then also to appreciate the different contexts through which people do that, either through their traditional cultures, their different practices and so on. Something that's a wonderful opportunity.